Why has Ukraine been described as a resource superpower, a critical minerals superpower?
Ukraine has some of the largest and most extensive deposits of critical minerals and rare earths in Europe, if not the world. It's got 117 of 120 most desirable minerals currently desired for the energy transition, as well as for technology. It's got large reserves of titanium, of lithium, of rare earth metals and minerals, as well as vast quantities of iron ore, nickel, and extensive amounts of hydrocarbon. So Ukraine stands out as a major potential supplier of materials to drive Europe and the world's green energy transition, as well as developments in AI and other advanced technologies.
So it should feel blessed, but in a way, seems to have become a curse. It seems to have predatory powers at its borders.
Yeah, I mean, Ukraine faces pressures not just from Russia on the eastern border, but now increasingly from the United States, which is seeking to make deals that may not be as favorable for Ukraine as perhaps it would like. I think, though, that if Ukraine is able to negotiate arrangements with the United States, with Europe, and other partners that ensures not just economic dividends, but also security guarantees, then I think all parties could potentially stand to profit and to gain. But this will be very delicate to negotiate in the days and weeks to come.
Trump has always liked to be seen as a transactionary deal maker. It seems very blunt, him saying, look, we're going to have $500 billion dollars worth of rare earth and stuff resources. Is he just being brutally honest? Is this how politics has always gone on?
Yeah, I think for centuries, peace agreements have been resolved based around transactions over land and minerals and agriculture. And I think in some ways this is no different. What we have in Donald Trump and the United States administration is, as you say, a transactionalist approach. And I think right now, Ukraine, which is facing real existential challenges about its territorial sovereignty, is desperate to create a deal with the United States that would entangle the United States in its future economically, but also ensure that Ukraine receives the kind of security guarantees it needs to be able to survive as a nation moving forward.
Final question. If I was, for example, Taiwan, I might be thinking, I'm not sure whether I've got the resources to sell. If we're not talking about defending democracy, we're not talking about defending sovereign borders. Is this a worrying future?
I think there are real dangers right now. I think a lot of countries, including my own in Canada, but others like Denmark, and as you say, Taiwan, which sits in the South China Sea, and others are now looking carefully at how they're going to be broadcasting their mineral reserves, but also their relationships with some of these great powers. There are many flashpoints right now where there are critical minerals and rare earths and other resources that are necessary for the green energy transition and for AI applications and defense technologies. And in this spheres of influence world that we seem to be creeping into, those are now more appetizing and enticing to these great powers than ever.